I mean, when you have high hopes and with expectations, basically, when I was tracking everything, injection upon injections upon injections, you keep on applying. Even people that don't want to even get back to you, those are even the most annoying ones because you don't know where you stand, basically, and then you'll be left unknown.
When I look back, I realize that things didn't exactly go as planned. But at the same time, I've grown and I've learned in ways I never even thought possible. And it is one thing I've gotten to realize is that
ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Do you know something that is really annoying? When you've been planning for weeks, months, years, and the plan doesn't come together, and things don't go your way. Why? Why won't things just go your way? That's just one of the most annoying things ever. It's supposed to work together. In the books, it always works out. So why is it not working out in your life? Whether your goals are those unplanned types that you just did because everybody else is doing. I mean, did you really want to do medicine, or were all the smart kids in your school picking medicine that year? Let's be real. Or your goals are genuinely authentic goals that come from a genuine place. Regardless of which type of goal you're pursuing right now. Why the heck is it not coming together? That's the question we're asking. Because why would we commit to this and then it won't work out? So are we settling for less? If we're not where we wanted to be, when we thought we would be, does it mean that we settled for less? If things didn't work out the way we planned, are we just not seeing the bigger picture? Is there something we're not seeing? So this question has just really been on my mind. What happens when things don't work out the way we planned, and how are we supposed to take it? You may think that the unexpected and chaos is restricted to just you and I, but let me back up that statement I just made. On June 5, 2024, Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams embarked on a brief mission to the International Space Station, the ISS, but equipment failures and malfunctions turned what was supposed to be an 8-day trip into a grueling, extended 9-month space trip because they were stuck in space, the final frontier, the great abyss. Space, as at 18 March 2025, they finally arrived back on Earth. The time they spent in space had significant impact on their health, physical health, mental health, emotional health. I mean, they spent Christmas away from their families. They suffered from bone density loss, muscle atrophy. And I'm not just here blowing grammar just because. You could check up, and I will cite my sources in the episode description. And yet, here's what Sunny Williams said when asked about their unexpected adventure.
You know, it's like you all mentioned, it's slightly unique, and there's some lessons learned to it, and part of that is just resilience and being able to take a turn that was unexpected and make the best of it. And I think that is the biggest thing that I want to, pass down, particularly to kids who think that their life should be the straight arrow to where what you want to do and you're just going to get there. Well, sometimes it takes some turns, some rights and some lefts, and you just keep focused on your goal, and other doors might be open for you. So I think that's the biggest message.
I asked a couple of friends some questions concerning their dreams and how far they've come in achieving them and how they feel about those dreams and where they are relative to those dreams. Let's go hear their responses.
okay, so looking back, I realized I had some pretty ambitious goals for myself. I wanted to have my music out there, maybe even an album or a single released. I was also open to be studying mechatronics engineering, and on top of that, I wanted to be financially independent. Like a whole lot of things I wanted to do. But fast forward to now, life has taken a slightly different turn.
Where did I see myself right now? I saw myself at this point, moving on from 20s into 21. So I saw myself that I would have maybe be rounding up university, though the plan was not medical school, really. It was not really medical school initially. So yes, that was where I saw myself. I would be rounding up uni by this time, and then institution, I saw myself that, okay, I would be this uni girl that, like, she's in school, but then she's doing a lot of things, like loving God, even though I didn't see it as like the priority at that time. And a girl that would have like her own business, like a full-blown business, and I thought I would have my hair salon, so like a uni girl, a business lady doing her things. That was what I saw myself doing. And okay, things didn't work out. They didn't go as I thought or planned. And
Yeah, that's the question. Where I see myself currently, I see myself like kind of like a ladder towards achieving my goals. Like goals I've laid down, goals I've set for myself. I see myself achieving them gradually, one way or the other. Whether it goals of becoming a successful animator, a mad engineer, a good designer. Yeah, those goals I set for myself. Also my spiritual goals also, knowing the Father personally and intimately. Yeah, I see myself on a ladder, church ladder, very, very narrow one. And breeze is blowing like mad, very, very. But yeah, that's where I see myself right now.
I just hate that thing. I'd been noticing it for a bit, then I'll just realize, oh, have you ever been in that situation where you'd been sad for a while, or something has just not been going your way, and then someone says or does something that on a normal day you just let it slide, you just joke with the person, then all of a sudden you just start crying. The other person like, wait, to relax, to wait, it happen. So yeah, there are a lot of undealt pent-up emotions that we tend to keep it. I saw a post by the woke salary man about this guy that kept leaving hate comments on the internet because he had some issues he hadn't dealt with yet. I would link the post by the woke salary man in the description of this episode. Sometimes things we haven't dealt with tend to pile up and, just become bigger issues. You just start getting angry, or you just start crying anyhow, or maybe it was even like oversleeping, just something you wouldn't usually do because of some things you haven't dealt with. So yeah, let's talk about it today. I'm a big planner, so there's this feeling of loss and inadequacy and frustration when things don't work out the way I plan. I'm a big planner, and life is just one big surprise planned out by God for his pleasure and your enjoyment. I'm not even going to kid you. It's a lot of ups and downs. It's not always enjoyable because it's just up there looking at us. It's not always enjoyable, I'm telling you the fact. Sometimes I just feel very, very, very stupid when I've put a lot of thought, effort, and energy into something and it doesn't work out. And I start thinking like, oh, I'll just, start overthinking things. So it's not always enjoyable when things don't work out the way I planned. It's not always enjoyable when things don't work out the way you plan, especially when it has to do with making money, getting a job or an internship, or just maybe even making a friendship or getting into some sort of relationship or something like that. It's quite stressful when things don't work out the way we plan. But what I'm learning is that instead of letting these emotions just fester and be there, I think first of all acknowledging that these emotions are there. I started reading a book called The Encyclopedia of Emotions, and there are so many emotions we never even thought had names, but they have names. They really have names, and there is a name to the emotion you are feeling, and it's not just you. This emotion is not peculiar to just you. People have felt it. So I think acknowledging your emotions and really feeling these emotions, and then just speaking to somebody about how you're feeling. You can't just be feeling this way and then you keep it inside. Speak to somebody you trust, somebody you love, somebody that loves you back. Speak to them, talk about it, let it out, and then surprisingly do something for somebody else. After you've talked about it, right, and you and the person has lamented about it and you've ranted and you've finished everything, think, and I can tell you for free that, at least in my case, doing something for somebody else, just getting my mind off it, getting my mind off myself, and just going to do something for somebody else, as visiting an orphanage or doing something around the house, or just doing something for somebody else, it takes your mind off yourself. And makes you realize that the world doesn't revolve around you. It's really a kind of humble humiliation when things don't go the way you planned.
I would have to say yes, absolutely. You know, it's interesting. We go and launch. We knew it was a little bit unique, obviously, first time flying on a new spacecraft. So yeah, that was interesting. But you know, then life goes on up there. And I mentioned yesterday, you know, we pivoted and we are International Space Station crew members, and we're doing what all of our other friends in the astronaut office do, is go and work and train and do amazing science experiments up on the International Space Station. So, you know, I think you sort of get maybe a little bit tunnel visioned in what your job is. So, it's, do your job type of thing, right? And so you're not really aware of what else is going on down here. I hate to say that, you know, maybe the world doesn't revolve around us, but we revolve around the world, like something like that.
As human beings, we tend to look for the results that we want, and we discredit results that don't look like what we expected. I mean, many times, you know, you wanted something else and then something else happened. It wasn't entirely bad, but then you just weren't happy about that thing that happened because it wasn't what you expected. What if we looked at it from another way? What if that thing that happened to you, right, has its pros? It might not have been what you wanted. What if it's actually what you needed at that point in time? Okay, let me tell you my own story. So I genuinely thought that right now I will be living in a beautifully decorated self-con in Accra, Ghana right now. But I can tell you for free that I'm in my father's house in Nigeria, trying to record this episode in peace, but it will most likely be recorded in pieces. Why? Just because. To tell the truth, I was quite disappointed that it didn't work out the way I planned. Like, it was something I had planned like for quite a while. I had planned it for quite a while, almost a year. Like, I had laid it out. Like I said, big planner here. This like Q2 2024. I've been telling like family and like close friends that I'm going to go to Ghana, and I was like, oh my gosh, why did? But then Jehovah told me that it's just the way you look at it. What if it wasn't what you wanted, but it was what you needed at that point in time? I mean, just saying here.
What will I have done, or what are these choices I would have made? I think the first choice I would have made, not that I'm saying that the ones I made aside of that choice were bad though. I'm saying like the choice I would have made, I would have waited like 2 years or a year before I started looking for admission or stuff like that. But it's the same thing, because at this point in time I'm seeing like this school of a thing is standing in my way of really accomplishing the set goals I've placed for myself, my goals that I've set to achieve. And it's kind of a bummer too, but well, it's better we do it now so that in the future we don't have to be suffering ourselves to do it again. We get now. But yeah,
one thing I didn't expect was getting involved with the paramedics department in school. I'm a paramedic in school. Looking back like 3 to 5 years ago, I wouldn't have expected that to happen, but then that's life for you. It's been an incredible experience, and I've learned so much. But with school and paramedic work, my music has had to take a backseat. I haven't had time to release any songs or albums, which is something I'm still hoping to do. By God's grace, I'm still hoping to do it. You know, it's funny because when I look back, I realize that things didn't exactly go as planned. But at the same time, I've grown and I've learned in ways that I never even thought possible. And if there's one thing I've gotten to realize is that life is all about adapting and making the most of the opportunities that come our way. Just grabbing every opportunity that comes your way, because you don't know what's going to happen next. So even though I'm not where I thought I'd be, I'm actually pretty happy with how things are turning out, and I'm still working towards my goals, and I'm excited to see where life takes me next. Yeah, yes, that's pretty much my story.
Internships can be a hard thing to achieve. I mean, when you're going up for an internship, you have high hopes and expectations basically from the companies you want to work with, or people you want to meet, or basically things you want to achieve. So my own situation, I wanted to work in the AI robotics industry. Basically, I started like I think about 9 to 12 months before my internship, because I really needed to work in that kind of place. So I started early enough preparing. I was aiming at specifically robotics and AI companies. I started like 9 months plus before my internship start date, and applying to different places abroad, both in my home country and also basically anywhere that gave the idea of a robotics company or an AI company that does robotics. Basically, it was kind of challenging because I really didn't know what to expect, and I really didn't know where I was going to end up. But I didn't put all my eggs in one basket, meaning that I didn't only apply to outside companies, so I applied to companies at home. But then I was still like, basically my home country doesn't really have a lot of companies that work in robotics and AI, so I was kind of hoping on the outside companies. So yeah, then the rejections started coming in. I mean, I get approximately 3 to 4 rejections a week. I started declining from there, and a lot of things happened. And at the end of the day, I found myself in a not too bad company, but a company that actually will be hands on, but not really what I wanted to do per se. But I mean, not knowledge. Knowledge is the best, basically. So I use that to my advantage and help them basically improve if I find a way to do that and so on. But the process of getting internship in detail is actually a very, very rigorous one, because you apply, you get rejections or acceptance. I mean, even people that don't want to even get back to you, so those are even the most annoying ones, because you don't know where you stand basically, and then you'll be left unknown. And I was tracking everything, rejection upon rejections upon rejections. You keep on applying. I didn't stop applying up until a month before my internship, and so a month before my internship, I just had to secure my hometown's company, even if it didn't really give me what I wanted, but it was still hands-on, and it was also an international company that would help me further my opportunities. So the process is kind of like, you don't know what you expect, you just have to keep on trying and keep on believing that it's going to work, because sometimes you just get lucky and then it's going to work for you, or sometimes you just need to take what you get. But will I do what I did again if I had a chance to? Yes, but I'll do it better. I think when I'm doing it again, most likely going to be with a different approach. So I'm going to try to, as much as possible, to know people personally, people one-on-one that are in the company I want to apply to, and then from there I work my way up. Because what I was doing prior to now my internship started, but what I was doing before was basically just going to the company's job sites and then reading job descriptions and then applying to whatever suits me. But then if you make a connection with someone that already works in the company, I'll ask them whether they have like they need a helping hand, or you're interested in, like, let me say, computer vision for robotics, and then you tell them your background is there, and then you can help them in that. I mean, why wouldn't they try to put you up if you're skilled enough and they feel like you can handle the job? So that's a better approach. And starting early enough also was a benefit. I actually like the fact that I had to get my hands dirty during this period and find out or dabble into how all those things worked, even writing a CV, a cover letter, all those different stuff. But then, like I said, no knowledge is a waste, and I'm actually happy where I am for the meantime.
Yes, I had a lot of learning to do. I didn't know how to relate to people. So, thank you so much, Jade. It was nice to answer this question because it made me to reflect back also.
I want to say a big thank you to my friends who sent in their stories. Emmanuel, Justice, Peace, and Chidobe. Thank you guys very much. I guess what this entire episode is trying to say is that life is unpredictable. It's unplanned. It's actually chaos. We live in one of the most unpredictable times. Dreaming, living, being, achieving. It's all so chaotic. So relax. Enjoy this season. Anything's possible if you believe. Now, I believe you're going to follow this podcast on Spotify and Instagram at Jade Speaks Podcast. Rate it 5 stars on Spotify and share it.